fuck up their runway over there. Because I don't know how else to take that zone, you know?
Splash.
But I'm going above it. Avio? What's an avio jet? Oh!
Past you if you want to get like a nice little set. Oh, bro, and the sunset's right here. Oh, bro.
Yeah, he's gotta be. That's me. Don't hit me.
You, yo!
I know, right?
Enigma's Cold War server is DCS's it girl as of late. They have recently proven they are no flash in the pan with their recent release. I will not get too into it, but in short, we went from lines to hexagons, added more strategic targets, and removed road bases. That gives me mixed feelings. Otherwise, everything else is for the better. When playing as a REDFOR pilot on this server, you notice a few things. Firstly, is a different budget and interior design choices between the two hemispheres. This will become apparent immediately. Russian equipment just handles differently. This is seen in the flanker and fulcrum as well. There's a certain wonkiness to them, and a lot of times it makes itself apparent in the worst moments. Another way this is displayed is through the difference in aircraft sensor capability and available payload options. To keep it simple, at first you'll believe Russian equipment is objectively inferior, but that isn't the case. If you think so, you're just flying it wrong. Let's dive into our entry-level module and Russia's main attacked aircraft.
Su-25 Грач.
Given the NATO call sign Frogfoot, this attack aircraft is an impressive workforce for the Red side. 10 hardpoints, an assortment of ground weapons, and some AA capabilities. It is most definitely worth every penny. Flying the Frogfoot is a breeze and takes very little practice to begin decimating ground forces. When you first take the Frogfoot up, I recommend you resist the urge to max out your pylons on your first flight. Keep it to 4 or 6 until you have a real good grip on what it does and doesn't like. It has a recommended top speed of 800 kilometers an hour, but you can push that a little more if you're careful. Minding you adding weight will lower that as evidenced by the buffeting happening sooner at a lower speed. Agility is nothing to write home about, and you'll need to keep your wits about you when engaged with the enemy, but you are far from stiff. The design of the Frogfoot shines at low speeds. Its massive wings combined with its deep flap settings and brake can result in some impressive turn radii, providing your load is light. I mean, are we watching Looney Tunes because this frog can dance? With no weight, it just bops around. This type of maneuverability is what I would say is a good trade-off when compared to the A-10. As with these new server settings, speed is king. Your air-to-ground weaponry includes quite a few options. First we have bombs, ranging from 500 kilograms to tiny clustered munitions, followed by rockets in the single and canister variety. Then there are the AG missiles, with 3 being available. At 300, 320, and 600 kilogram plus options, in a Cold War setting, this is more than enough. And this weapon set is even more effective after the changes. There's been an adjustment as to what ground troops are placed where, and with the only SAM sites being on runways and logistic targets, I am seeing a lot more munitions connect nowadays. Spoozer lives by 2 main munitions in the Frogfoot, the Karen AGM and the B-13 rocket. We don't coordinate loadouts, as I know if he's in a frog, he has all hardpoints occupied with fat loads. No questions asked.
Oh yeah, because I'm thick.
It is worth noting that previously AA missiles were only available on the Frogfoot in Syria before the update. So I would occasionally bring 32 count S5 rockets and just hope for the best after losing 64 rockets into the air. Your mileage may vary. Honestly, bombing technically is a fantastic strategy. Not technically, it actually is a fantastic strategy. And if you're great at CCRP, you're going to do excellent. But it isn't my cup of tea exactly. I will state that if you are a pro bomber, you're going to get a lot of work done fast, especially with the transition from road bases to aerodromes. Unreal. And I know some of you are thinking, he forgot. No. The last munition we have to cover for the Su-25 are the wing-mounted autocannons, allowing up to 4 twin-barreled GSH-23 autocannons, sighted for either air or ground targets. Yes, I know. The A-10 and the GAU-8, 6 to 800 bajillion freedoms per minute. Nothing rings a dopamine ragged out more than 8 streams of bullets chewing up everything in your path. Next, we have a module that is an increase in price, quality, and complexity. Ladies and gentlemen, the MiG-21. To fly, the MiG-21 is to be the missile. You know where you are. You know where you aren't. You know who that is 25 kilometers off your nose, because you were the only one on the server with IFF. Does that stop team kills on red side? No. It just makes them more embarrassing. Flying the MiG-21 is an art form to say the least, and stressful to say the most. Your lift coefficient is far from the best, and you will be relying on your thrust to weight ratio to really maximize your performance potential. But, once at speed, handling is great. AOA is more than adequate, nothing too stiff, just stay in the performance envelope because it'll handle like a drunken elephant if you get too slow. The Fishbed has a two-tiered input system, swapping between low and high sensitivities at certain airspeeds. This can be overridden with bindings though. It can show its ugly head at the worst times, especially when you're about to pull lead, have that great corner speed, you're pulling up behind the target, and all you need is that extra few degrees of AOA, and then you're about to get that perfect shot, and then whop, it just tries to hurl itself into the earth. Designed as an interceptor, this module really cranks at full throttle, and will surprise you with its emergency afterburner mode. The catch is that extended usage will destroy the engine, and exceeding 1300 kph risks compressor stalling the aircraft. One last caveat is the lack of an adequately pressurized fuel tank. This means negative G's means a negative experience. Fuel starvation is far too easy and happens in just a couple seconds. It is possible to starve yourself while trying to level out during a dogfight as well. Fortunately, with the flick of the switch, you can air restart with minimal effort, but the RPM regain is slow. Made to basically scream off the runway on ground-controlled intercept, 4 hard points is all you get. We have a smattering of AA missiles, with each variant having its own purpose. The most effective ones we're seeing are the R60s and the R3Rs. I don't know why, but Blue Force seems to think every missile is a Fox 2. Using R3Rs will absolutely give you an edge. The best strategy I've found is to harass Overlord Bot like I'm Carl Weezer visiting his good friend Jimmy's house and glue my eyes to the radar scope. Once I find my target, just lock them up, full afterburner, and Mississippi Queen their ass at Mach Karl Marx. It's effective. For ground, you have bombs, rockets, and the almighty Grom. I'm very sorry to say, but I don't have very much to speak about the bombs and the rockets. Just go fast, dump them, and skedaddle on out of there. But the Groms. Oh, the Groms. Precursor to the KH-29s, this radar-guided AGM can decimate structures with a single rocket. Also good for anti-ship strikes, the Grom is a pleasure to launch. It's just absolutely fantastic. Best thing in the game. Best thing in the game. Best thing in the game. And to address BFM and gun usage. Anyone who's anyone will scream at you about your corner speed being 600 kilometers per hour and to just energy fight, boom and zoom. After one turn, you're screwed, blah blah blah. But honestly, just send the fucker. Your thrust to weight ratio will save you. If you have experience in the Mirage 2000, the amount of delta wing performance characteristics that translate is pleasantly surprising. Turn fight at your own risk, but with some emergency afterburner usage, you'll figure out how to work this silver cigar to your advantage. Last, and most certainly not least, we have the Hind. A two-seat combination attack and transport chopper, the Hind fills a unique niche in the REDFOR lineup, mainly in its air-to-ground capabilities, but the flexibility of this module is really something special. The experience that is flying the Hind can be described in its entirety with one sentence. If it's giving you a hard time, that means you're doing it wrong. Now, I feel some may say that all helis are like that, but forums across the internet discuss the awkwardness of transitioning to the Hind from other helo modules. They say it's mainly from the reverse blade rotation, as it spins in the opposite direction of all NATO helicopters actually. But one can be attributed to the effects of the winglets at high speeds and the sheer mass of the aircraft. Like, this thing is huge. Others have said, the Hind isn't a hunter. Pop-up attacks are not advised, and not where the Hind shines at its air-to-ground role. But I say fuck them. In the server environment, pop-ups are viable. Just be aware of the potential stall that occurs when firing rockets or missiles below certain speeds, as sucking up the projectile's exhaust into your engine intakes will cause it to stall and send you to the earth very quickly. By giving some focus to the true transport capabilities of the Hind, this module provides probably the deepest gameplay of any module on the server. Enigma's Cold War allows for combat search and rescue, recon, and ground troop deployment with helicopters, showing their attention to detail and the server's sense of completeness in regards to their attempt at recreating a BMS Falcon 4.0-like environment. A skilled Hind pilot, in combination with his onboard weaponry and troop carrying capabilities, allow him to both spot and eliminate ground units with zero assistance, making him a major asset in REDFOR's ability to press the front line forward. The Hind has quite an assortment of armaments, and to describe it as well-rounded would be doing it a disservice. Air-to-ground missiles, rockets, big and small, gun pods, grenade launcher pods, bombs, optional door gunners, and air-to-air missiles make the Helo one of the best bangs for your buck in this regard. Air-to-ground missiles have been a dominant strategy for Hind players due to their range and accuracy with the Petrovich AI. Giving A to them makes it a little sweeter too. And the ability to lock onto air targets? Better call a dentist because your teeth are going to rot out.
Missile launched. Okay.
If it doesn't hit, let me know.
Oh!
The cannons and grenade launcher pods are mainly effective on infantry and some soft and medium targets. They are fun and great to use, but they aren't going to be the most effective. Bombs are, well, bombs. You drop them, they go boom. Just hope they don't go boom when you're too close. And if the ATGMs are the main course of the Hind, rockets are the rice and veggies. Rockets are and can be just as effective due to the Hind's ability to deliver them in such close proximity. Volley attacks can be effective as well if you're skilled enough. And the Hind's main gun is a dream to use. With a variable fire rate and burst length, you can tune it to your liking. Personally, slow, short bursts are the absolute best. Firing the cannon at max RPM will drop the nose immediately, so it's recommended to use this high RPM setting sparingly. The best feature of the Hind, though, is the multi-crew aspect. For front seat gunner and door gunner slots, allowing for 3-player crews, having a door gunner is a thrill ride, but a player front seater, I would rather we both fly our own Hinds and bring 16 ATGMs on our sortie. Unlike most, I purchased the Hind as my first helicopter module. This is a bit of a departure, as everyone definitely recommends the Huey or the Gazelle. I mean, maybe even the AH-64 at this point, now that it's working, or at least the owners say it is. But I just look at the Hind, and it's sexy, it's big, it's a nice, lovely lady. Call me Moto because, I mean, I like him big, I like him chunky. You know, just look at this thing. That and the fact it's Russian. Personally, I'm not a fan of NATO aircraft. Just my own vendetta against them. I don't know. They're all too mathematically sound and perfect and effective, so they're boring. No one likes Superman. I don't get Superman fans. I think people just watch Superman to see him, blow stuff up with his laser eyes. I don't think they actually care about him, saving the day, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, he's got, like, every power and, can stop everything and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's boring. Yeah, he's gonna win. He's Superman. Like, he's got all the fucking power. Ugh. Jesus. But we're getting into a tangent here. At this part of the video, I just want to get to some of the personal thoughts about the changes. I understand why they definitely got rid of road bases. I think it had to do with mitigating resource overload with the amount of calculations that the AI has, as well as, all the entities that the server has to keep track of at any given point. I totally understand they have to make their concessions where they can. But I did like the aspect of road bases. It gave the server a genuine tangibleness to it. It made it actually feel like a real combat scenario, a real conflict where, all resources are actually being tapped and utilized. Whereas, just taking off from aerodrones, it just feels a little too clean cut.
I'm kind of worried for the server environment at this point. I feel as though we're starting to drift towards a Call of Duty-ification that we're starting to see. It's starting to feel as though that the main goal is going to be balance going forward. It's going to be player retention going forward, and not about maintaining that pure simulator-like experience that the initial mission was. Mind you, I don't own the server. He can run it any way he seems fit, and I'm only just a single member of a 16,000 plus member community. What I say doesn't necessarily hold too much weight, but I have ample hours in this environment. I want to convey what I've noticed, what I've seen, where I think this is going to lead, and see if anybody has the same opinions, see if anybody has any other thoughts that may differ. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe I'm just an outlier and need to be, hoisted off to the gallows. That being said, I do very much look forward to the release of the Phantom, the MiG-23, and to see how it's going to affect gameplay going forward. Road bases, I would love to see come back. It's an excellent aspect of the original iteration of ECW. And one thing I just want to also convey is that I really hope that the map adjustments kind of slow down going forward. I'm not a big fan of the split caucus map. I was not a big fan of small caucus. I miss Cyprus being included in Syria. It was an absolutely fantastic section of the map to have two separate main kind of battles going on across the entire space. It was very, very interesting. I would like to see a little bit more naval aspect, maybe a little bit more carrier operations going forward as well. But by all means, everybody, please leave comments. Say what you say. If you want to tell me to delete my channel, be my guest. Let me know. But I appreciate the time for watching this video, and wish you all the best. Take care.